Hey guys, this is the Lincoln Aviator, and this is a car that is dear to my heart. I have had some of those moments in life that we all experience that are stressful but also really important have happened in the Lincoln Aviator. From learning all the ins and outs of roadside assistance, I was rescued by roadside assistance when I got a flat tire, to hauling my family around to activities around a funeral and driving in the snow in a place that doesn't snow very often, and feeling confident and feeling stress-free because of the car that I was in. And that's what you want out of your car, is you want low stress, high confidence, and comfort for everyone. And that's what's so exciting about the 2025 model. It doesn't look a lot different on the outside, but on the inside, there are a lot of great new features that are going to make your time in the Lincoln Aviator all the better. We got a sneak peek. For 2025, you will see subtle changes to the front end. I love this jet black appearance. New headlights and a frameless grille. New for 2025, you can get this jet appearance on the Reserve Edition. It's a little sportier looking than we've seen some of the Aviators in the past. And we love a sporty looking car, don't we? So we have fallen in love with these black and white trims, these black and white editions, and the Aviator now lets you have this sporty athleisure look of black and white. You can even get it with a black roof. This one has a white roof, and then this one has hot chocolate interior. Hot chocolate interior. So it actually looks a little lighter in the camera image than it does in person. It's a nice, I might even call it like a espresso shot latte or something like that, because it is a little darker brown, but it is quite beautiful. I love this car so much. The rear end of the Aviator didn't change much, and that's okay with us, because it is a really nicely sized cargo area, even with the third row up. There's storage space under here. There are buttons here that you can use to raise or lower the third row seat. Some of the power's not working on all the seats, but there's definitely power here, so you can use the push button to raise or lower the third row seats. And then these headrests fold flat. So if you're putting a child passenger car seat here in the third row, you just put the head and the headrest impedes it. You can just put the headrest down. It folds right flat to the seat, and then it should not be in the way of your child passenger car seat, which is a really nice convenience. And so is this. I do love these door handles. They don't move. Look at this, no moving metal. That's just one of the luxury details I love inside the Lincoln Aviator. But let's go take a look around the inside. The interior of the Aviator may look very familiar. These seats are going to be familiar if you've seen one or driven one. The sort of deck style dashboard is going to seem very familiar. And then there's a large multimedia screen here and a driver information screen here. And oh, somebody left the seat massager on. There are massaging seats, which we had before, and which is a lovely detail, something that we really, and it's good. Okay, you might have to give me a moment because I'm enjoying this. It's pretty good. So massaging seats, you're going to find here in the multimedia system. And then there are other things you can control here. And in fact, you can set up driver profiles, so you can actually customize the system for 2 or 3 different drivers if you'd like to. All new software here with over-the-air updates, so things will improve and get better as time goes on. A brand new driver information display here. So we've got this really beautiful new digital screen here. And excuse me, while I enjoy my massaging seats, and a new head-up display here. So it's larger, it's brighter, it's got more graphics and more details, and it also is customizable. You'll see some things that are very similar to the past. So buttons down here that light up when the car is on. There are command controls here on the steering wheel for things that you'll see in the driver display and that you'll actually see over here on the screen as well. So you'll be able to set some of your settings here on your steering wheel. And then last a brand new design on the center console, but we still have this floating console here. There actually is a little space here where you could put the handles of a handbag if you wanted to put your handbag down here. It'd have to be kind of a small handbag. It's not as big as in the Navigator, but it is large and it is quite nice. And then there's a spot here where you can drop and charge a cell phone, which I really like too. The technology in the 2025 Lincoln Aviator, I'm going to start here with the driver information display. So we have some controls here. There's like a little menu button there that we can choose some of the options, and then we can toggle through some of those options here. The car's not fully powered, so you're not going to see, but there actually are menu options that light up here, and then there are buttons underneath that allow you to make some choices there. And our driver assist features are here. So this is where we have adaptive cruise and some other features that can turn up and down the radio volume here. Then you'll see there is a head-up display right there, and I'll show you what that looks like. You can actually adjust many of the features in the head-up display. And then the big thing is right here, the brand new multimedia system. So not only is it completely redesigned, but it is powered by Google. So we have the Google Assistant here, which also works as a voice-operated program. Hey, Google. So I can ask for what I want, and I can get maps. I can go quickly to things. I can say, hey, Google, go to Target. And look how fast that is. So they have really worked on making this really fantastic. So I want you to notice there is Apple CarPlay here. There's Android Auto there. So even though you can use the Google Assistant and Google Map, you can still use your phone for texting, for any of your specific apps. If you really want to use Apple Maps, or if there's something else on your phone that you don't have here, you have total access to that, which is kind of nice. And then you also have Alexa. There also are some vehicle settings here. So anything that you need to customize, you're going to have in this menu. Ambient lighting. Look at this ambient lighting. It is so gorgeous. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to set it to, you can't really see, maybe a little bit. You can see a little bit in here. If I change the colors, you can see a little bit, but it's kind of hard to tell in this dark studio. But there you go. You can see the ambient lighting there in the cup holders. And very nice, really elegant. I love ambient lighting. It's become one of my favorite features, actually. And it's something that it's been very easy for manufacturers to add. It gives you really great visibility, especially at night, which is one of the things that I love. And there's our home button. And let's go back to apps, because there are also games. And this is a game that Ford has added. And you have to be parked to be able to use it, but it's a Ford specific, although interesting, the Bugatti, it is a Ford specific game that is only on Ford and Lincoln cars. So that's a really cool feature. And we're going to see more of that as they continue to add more over-the-air updates as time goes on. Then I'll show you down here is a static panel of climate control buttons. So other than when we have the game on, these don't change. So you can change your temperature here. You can adjust your seat temperature there. You can turn on and off the air conditioning. And then you also can manage rear seats as well. And there's where you're going to set up your profile. And here are notifications. So lots of nice little functions there. This is where you're going to find the massaging seat. I know you guys want to know where that is. Massaging seat is right there. And then if you want other seat controls, I'm going to show you, they are right here on the door. And this is where they've always been. From the very beginning of the Lincoln Aviator, they've always been right here. Gotta love these massaging seats. Down here you'll find air vents that span the dash, here and there. These really beautiful sound panels for the Revel sound system. And don't forget, our gear selectors right here. There's the engine stop start, and then park, reverse, neutral, and drive. And the Lincoln name spelled out right there. And there's a command panel here for the sunroof. which is panoramic. It spans the first 2 seats. It's quite beautiful. And it's standard. Rear seat passengers are not so lucky to get the massaging seats, but what they do get is this. Slide and tilt center row seats. You can install a child passenger car seat forward facing and slide and tilt and give you access to get into the 3rd row. There's enough space. It is a little narrow, so it's probably for your more agile passengers. You don't want to put grandma back there, but your 10 or 15-year-old, they're going to be just fine. I will climb back there, but I want to show you this too. Now it does have it's on a rail, the seat's on a rail, and it can move forward and back. There is a center console here. We're in the reserve edition. So for center row passengers, there's not a pass through here. In this edition, there is the console here that has cup holders, has a little storage cubby here. There's a nice place here to put a phone. And then there are controls for the sunshade that covers the panoramic sunroof, so you can control that. There's a little screen here that has climate control, and then we have outlets here for USB ports and a household outlet. That's a nice detail. Now, I showed you that button on the seat. I won't show you that one. I'm going to show you this one, because what happens if your 10 or 15-year-old decides that it would be really funny to fold that seat forward on grandma? Well, I'm pushing the button and nothing's happening. Yay, Lincoln. I'm so happy, because not all car seats will do that. Some of them will actually move with weight in the seat, and I can hear the mechanism trying, sensing the weight, and then kind of going back to its normal setting. So I really like that a lot. That's a really nice detail. What other details do we have in the 2nd and 3rd row? So we've got handles, there are speakers here, there are lights here, there are air vents down here, and there are air vents in the wall of either seat for 3rd row passengers. We do have this center console. It is fixed, it doesn't move. So you do have to push the seat forward to get into the 3rd row. Let me show you what that looks like. So if you go for the top of the line, the captain's chairs, there is this full console. It is fixed, it's not movable. So, and it's really not easy to climb over. So here's how you're going to access the 3rd row, and that is by climbing in through this. Climbing in through past the slide and tilt center row seats. Now, there is a smaller console that's available. It's about 1/3 of the size. It's very low. And even though you have to step over it, it still qualifies as a pass-through, because it would be very easy to climb over. Now, I'm going to say, looking at this, you know, an agile elementary school kid could easily scramble over this. It's really pretty. I'm not sure you would want them to. So in the 3rd row, it is not the largest 3rd row in the world. It also has a rather low seat. It's probably better for kids, smaller kids, or for, say, the family dog is going to be very comfortable back here. But if you do need to put full-size passengers back here, you can. Let's see if I could do this without. Okay, so you can put these seats here like this. I have this position, so it's pretty shy on legroom in the front, but I can fit here I'm 5'8" and I fit. So there is room for full-size people if you really need to do that. If you've got kids in car seats in these seats, then that really is a great option. And because these seats are on rails, they will fit rear-facing child passenger car seats. Can you get 3 across on the bench? My guess is yes. We have not tried that out, but it looks like there's ample space here between the 2 seats, certainly enough for this armrest. And I will pull out the measuring tape and show you how wide these seats are and how wide the space is between them. With the front passenger seat pulled forward just a little bit, there's plenty of room for 2 rear-facing child passenger car seats in the outboard passenger side and in the center seat of the center row. For 2025, Lincoln has simplified the Aviator lineup, and they say it's just a matter of giving people what they want, not offering things that customers didn't really want and offering all the things that customers really do want. So there's 3 different trim levels. They start at about $58,000 and run up to about $85,000. All-wheel drive is an available option, a $2,000 option on the 2 lower trims. It's standard on the top of the line black label. But the big news is how much is standard. So 400 horsepower twin turbo engine, standard. Panoramic sunroof, standard. Blue Cruise, standard for 4 years on all models. That's pretty amazing. The new multimedia system, standard. So really you think about what it is you want in terms of the level of luxury of your interior trim details, how much premium leather you want versus standard leather, and a couple of other features. And that's really where the price breaks down, and that's great because what that means is everybody who wants an Aviator gets an Aviator. Even at the base price, you don't have to make any compromises. And that's what we've always loved about the Lincoln Aviator.